Imagine it's a smoky Vegas casino, 1961. Edward Thorp, a math professor with a knack for card counting, scans the roulette wheel while Claude Shannon, the father of information theory, watches the numbers crack like code. They're armed not with guns, but with a formula, one that promises to beat the system and rake in fortunes. What's this secret weapon? And can you really outsmart luck itself? Let's unravel the story behind the formula that changed investing and gambling forever. Before millions were won, two Bell Labs scientists brewed a radical idea that linked math, gambling, and information theory. But why did a neurotic genius from New Jersey and a gun-loving Texan huddle over betting strategies? Claude Shannon, the legendary genius behind How Computers Talk, wasn't just about bits and bytes. In the mid-1950s, he teamed up with John L. Kelly Jr., a wild physicist from Texas with a pistol obsession, to solve a curious puzzle. How do you bet the optimal amount and maximize wealth over time? They brewed a formula, later just called the Kelly formula, that looked at bets like messages in noisy channels. Kelly's formula treats your bankroll like a communication channel flooded with static, the randomness of chance. Just as Shannon's information theory measures how much signal can reliably get through noise, Kelly's insight was to bet only the fraction of your money that maximizes your expected logarithmic growth. Too big a bet, you risk ruin. Too small, you leave money on the table. It's like tuning a radio to the perfect frequency every time you play. When Thorp applied this formula at blackjack tables, he was no longer just beating the dealer, he was growing his fortune strategically. The Kelly system transformed gambling from a game of gut and luck into a science of controlled growth. Later, the same formula helped hedge funds quadruple returns with far less risk than Wall Street norms. It proved that beating the market wasn't fantasy, it was math. If the Kelly formula thrived in smoky casinos, its real power unleashed on trading floors and hedge funds. But how did card counting morph into a multi-million-dollar investing system? Ed Thorp, a math professor who wrote the gambling Bible Beat the Dealer, wasn't content with blackjack wins alone. He took Shannon's Kelly formula to Vegas roulette wheels, doubling his money with calm precision. But Thorp's real ambition, Wall Street. With the Kelly system, Thorp launched Princeton Newport Partners, one of the first quantitative hedge funds, crushing average returns and outpacing legends like Warren Buffett. In the chaotic flood of Wall Street's noise, Kelly's formula helps traders decide how much capital to risk on each bet, balancing potential payoff against ruin. Think of it like a thermostat in a sweltering market, adjusting leverage and position size so you never overheat your investments or freeze in fear. It's about sustainable growth, not reckless gambling. The results were stunning. Thorp's fund delivered steady, compounding growth with far less volatility than typical funds. The Kelly approach turned Wall Street's chaos into a navigable path to wealth. Investors learned that consistent, measured leverage beats wild bets, proof that you don't need luck to get rich, just a formula and discipline. Here's the twist: the Kelly formula is seductive but dangerous. It offers a scientific edge and invites controversy. What's the dark side of beating the system? Despite its power, the Kelly formula requires a cold calculator's mindset. Thorp once lost millions when misjudging his edge and ignoring Kelly's advice to shrink bets. It's not about chasing wins but growing steadily, and that means pulling back when odds dip. Without discipline, the formula's very power can bankrupt you faster than blind luck. The formula's promise, exploiting insider edges and patterns, upset casinos, traders, and regulators. Casinos banned card counters. Markets frowned on quant funds exploiting tiny inefficiencies before fading. The tension lies in profiting where others see only randomness, raising questions about fair play versus informational advantage. The formula walks a fine line between brilliance and controversy. Still, the allure remains. Apply Kelly well and you'll watch money grow like a slow-burning fire, not a sudden blaze. But get greedy or careless and that same fire becomes a forest inferno. Fortune's formula offers power with responsibility, a warning that mastering risk means respecting it, no matter how brilliant the math. Back in that smoky Vegas room, Shannon and Thorp weren't just gambling, they were inventing a new way to think about money and risk. Their formula shows you don't need luck to beat the odds, you need a strategy tuned like a radio dial. So here's your shot. Next time you face a risk, bet not with your gut but with a plan, fraction your stakes smartly. Try that and fortune just might start listening. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.